Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Full Court Press MMA. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Don't forget Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. Additionally, you can find the Full Court Press MMA on your social media outlets as well. Guys, I am super excited to introduce our next guest to you. At the age of 9, he graced the Karate Sport magazine. Matter of fact, he was the youngest to ever do so. In fact, he's been doing some form of martial arts since he was only 5 years old. Fast forward to 2019, and he is 11-2 in his MMA career with 7 TKOs. Matter of fact, he's even got a birthday coming up this Friday. His name is Sage Northcutt, and he's right here on the Full Court Press MMA. Sage, thank you so much for joining the show.
Hey, thanks so much. And thanks for the happy birthday wish, too. That's cool.
You're very welcome, Sage. What are you doing, man? You got big plans for your birthday on Friday. I saw you had that workout in L.A. yesterday, so maybe take a break and hang out for your birthday, man?
You know what? That'd be awesome. I'm living in Sacramento right now. My brother's actually down visiting, so he's always great hanging out with my brother. And have my sister in L.A. I'll be seeing my family in a few weeks, so I'm looking forward to it.
In a lot of your videos that I see of you on social media, it's like you've always got some sort of family around you, whether it's your brother or whomever. I mean, did you grow up just really close to your family? You guys seem very tight-knit.
Oh, yes, sir, I did. Me, my brother, and my sister were all 3 years apart. We almost look like twins, or triplets almost. Yeah, we grew up super close, going out, going fishing together, going ride motorcycles, hanging out, just everything we do, we always hang out together and train together. So, absolutely.
You know, fishing is a way in life in Texas, and so is football. And a gentleman that's from Katy, Texas, I'm sure you're well aware, is Andy Dalton. And so, to me, it kind of begs the question, why did you choose to get into a cage as opposed to maybe stepping on a gridiron, man?
You know what? That would have been super fun to do that and to play football. I definitely could have seen myself doing that. Maybe even in the future, maybe, because I think I'm athletic, I'm fast, and have the hand-eye coordination to catch a ball and run with it for sure, and memorize plays. But Andy Dalton's awesome, by the way, at his sport. I think fighting is just so much fun. You get to go out there and do something that's been around since like the beginning of history of like people pretty much said wrestling, jiu-jitsu, is every single thing you get to do is kind of like a gladiator out there. Can't really describe it. It's just a blast.
You know, Sage, you're making the move now to ONE FC. Bellator's out there. And so it begs the question, what did you see, what did you love about ONE FC that you said, you know what, if I'm going to go somewhere, this is where I want to be at?
Well, you know what? Really, when I met Mr. Chaudhry, who's the owner of ONE Championship, him and ONE Championship, they have a respect for the fighters and just their whole entire demeanor of how they carry themselves and their love for the sport. So I think that was a big thing that drew me to them and how we made my decision. And ONE Championship's a huge fighting organization, the biggest one in all of Asia, and they're becoming America too. So that's great.
You know, it was Tom Brady who said that when he's not in love with the preparation anymore, that's when he'll retire. As I made mention of earlier when I introduced you, you've been training and doing some sort of MMA since the age of 4 or 5. You were on the cover of that magazine when you were 9. Are you still in love with the preparation of it all? How are you not burned out at this point?
No, you know what's funny is I'm more in love with the sport now than I've ever been. So now I want to be the champion more than ever, and I want to go out there and finish my opponents more than ever and put on a great show. And I believe that I'm really improving my skill set now. Now that I'm out of college, that I withdrew from college, I'm focusing full time on fighting. I'm going to make myself a better fighter. So kind of like when you play a video game, if you're learning to play a video game and you're doing it for a long time, it's fun. But when you add new things in the game or a new track, if you're playing the racing game or a new character, then you get to use that, and now all of a sudden the game's like a brand new game again. It's so much more fun. So kind of like me, I'm adding all these tools, and this new skill set, and it's super fun for me.
We're talking to Sage Northcutt right here on the Full Court Press MMA. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Sage, you're still very young, but you've already showed to be a very impressive fighter. Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a veteran? Do you still see yourself as an up-and-comer? Where do you feel you rank right now in terms of some of the great fighters in your weight class?
Well, you know what? There's been people that have had like 6, 7 fights in the UFC, and they were considered veterans, and that's what people said. So I was with the UFC for about 3 years. I think I had, I believe it was 8 fights in the UFC, if I'm saying that right. So either 7 or 8 fights in the UFC, and I can definitely see myself as becoming a veteran. Obviously, I'm very young, but the amount of knowledge I know now is definitely improved dramatically over 3 years. And the UFC saw me as being one of the top guys in the weight class because they had offered me a fight to go out there and fight a guy named Tebow, who was in the top 10. And we said yes to the fight, and we wanted to do a multiple fight contract deal, not just a one fight contract deal. So then, anyways, when I'm signed with One Championship, they called up my management and offered me to fight Damian Maia, who's ranked number 2 in the UFC, I believe, at the time. And that they obviously have that belief in me that I'm good enough to go out there and compete against the second best guy in the world at that weight class and do that. So I believe in myself. I believe myself to be a champion in no time.
We're talking to Sage Northcutt right here on the Full Court Press MMA. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Sage, somebody that you really remind me a lot of is Tim Tebow, especially with how outspoken you are with your religious beliefs, your overall approach to media and fans. Do you see that as a compliment? And understand, I'm not trying to get you to say anything bad about Tim Tebow. But let's be honest, fans and everybody have a tendency to view their athletes a certain way. Are you afraid of that stigma beginning to take shape with you in your career?
No, not at all. Are you kidding me? Tim Tebow is awesome. He's an awesome man, and man of God, and him carrying himself like he does and being a great example, not only for older people and teenage people and people like me, but for kids too, because that's something that's incredible. I've heard that before, and I definitely can see myself being something like that. And I look up to Tim Tebow. He's really great in what he's accomplished, and he'd be cool to meet one day.
You know, you made mention right there about being an example to kids. And I'll never forget, I had an opportunity to stand in front of Hoist Gracie one time and interview him. And he told me that in order to be a black belt under him, you can't drink, you can't smoke, and you have to be an example to young kids. And it sounds to me like you take that same pride. Would that be an accurate assessment? Absolutely.
You know, a young kid's life can be changed completely by someone they look up to or someone they meet. So that's really huge. That's important. And I think it's so important that you can make such a big impact on a little kid. A little kid can watch a movie on TV and want to be just like a superhero. I want to be just like someone on TV that's saving people around the world. So, I mean, we're actually walking around, not only people on TV that maybe playing as a fictional character, but we're actually real people walking around, and definitely want to be a great example for kids.
You know, and superhero is a great lead into my next question. The word is that Marvel has their hand in ONE FC. Is there any talk of you being able to do a superhero movie out there going on, Sage?
You know, there's some talk about it. I'm not sure what kind of movie yet, but I mean, Marvel is one of the sponsors of One Championship, and they're linked with Disney, and there's definitely talks about me being in some stuff coming up. I could definitely see myself acting and being definitely a superhero or a villain, doing my own stunts and having fun out there doing that, because I believe I'd be great on the camera and have a blast.
Who would you want to be like? Okay, pick a superhero, any superhero you want. Disney, I don't know if it's going to cause any issues, but I'm just saying, to me, it doesn't have to be Marvel. Anybody you would want to play, man.
You know what? Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, like, if you look at the characters like Avengers, you got Chris Pratt, who played Guardians of the Galaxy, Star-Lord. He's like so funny. That movie's great. Thor is a great character, like powerful and strong, and just his character is so cool. Stuff like that. I think that'd be super cool. I mean, I think you could even make your own character for me with my physique, my athletic ability, the things I can do, and the way that I look. I believe that I could be a great superhero or villain.
Everybody, his name is Sage Northcutt. He's been right here on the Full Court Press MMA. Sage, as I do with all of my interviewees at the end of it, I give them an opportunity to say whatever it is that's on their mind. There is no right or wrong answer here. The floor is 100% yours.
Oh, thanks so much. Well, you know what? I just want to thank you for interviewing me. I'm looking forward to having my first fight, my debut fight for One Championship. It's going to be in Singapore, May 17th against Cosmo Alexander, so I'm looking forward to it. And we train harder than ever at Team Alpha Male, and I just want to thank my sponsors for supporting me. So my sponsor, LeBron Nutrition, supported me, keeps me in shape, giving me the right nutrition, and I'm so thankful for them. Also, Toyo Tires, give me tires to be able to have fun on my Jeep going off-road in between trainings to train hard. And Trifecta Nutrition, keep me healthy with my food. We're thankful.
Awesome. There it is. Sage, thank you so much for joining us on the program today.
Hey, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, everybody. He is Super Sage Northcutt, and I am Drew Duncan, host of the Full Court Press MMA. Don't forget Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. Don't forget to use the hashtag Don't You Dare Touch That Dial, and as always, don't you dare touch that dial.